Praise be to Jesus. Hello again, everyone. Charles with you here. And we have your most recent Catholic news briefs. Pope Francis has done it again. During a private audience at Santa Marta in Rome, which preceded the general audience in St. Peter's Square last Wednesday, the Pope blessed a civilly married couple in a whirlwind ceremony, including a general absolution for all those present. We all remember the not so spontaneous in flight wedding of two crew members in the airplane flying Pope Francis over Chile last January. This time, the Uruguayan couple involved appears really to have been taken by surprise, and there's a complete video of the 1.5 minute event to prove it, which is the first link in the description box. The whole group sat around a low table in armchairs, and they were still all sitting there when the Pope decided it was time for a collective absolution. Collective or general absolutions in the Catholic Church are normally strictly reserved for emergency situations, such as an impending disaster or the moments before a battle when a military chaplain has no time to hear individual confessions. Much abuse has been recorded during the decades following Vatican II, with priests organizing penitential celebrations with collective absolution and no individual confessing of sins. The Congregation of the Doctrine of the Faith published pastoral norms as early as 1972, which make all this clear. Among others, when circumstances allow, penitents should at least say an act of contrition, and when grave sins are involved, survivors should confess them individually within a year. Well, this is really seems odd. It doesn't. The article doesn't say anything about the people in the room, which you can clearly see in the video. Asking for a general absolution of their sin, or he just offers it, and so I don't know. It's a strange thing to be for him to do, I think. A priest and former seminary vocational growth counselor in Ireland has revealed for the first time the real reason he resigned from the country's national seminary 2 years ago. Father David Marsden told Lumen Fide in an exclusive interview about the existence of a powerful gay subculture in St. Patrick's College in Maynooth, Ireland. The trained psychologist, who specializes in priestly formation, said that a homosexual network exists among seminary council and spiritual directors. In the face of such widespread dissent from church teaching on sexuality, it was no longer possible to conduct proper formation in the seminary, he said, and he felt compelled to resign. Father Marsden relates in the interview how he became aware of the existence of the homosexual network and attempted, to no avail, to make it known to proper authorities. The priest's testimony suggests that an active and secretive homosexual subculture is being allowed to thrive in the Maynooth Seminary, with the approval of the ecclesial authorities. Sri Lanka should not look to the Western world's new religion of human rights, but to its own religious traditions, Cardinal Malcolm Ranjith of Colombo said Sunday during his homily at Mass. Human rights have become the new religion of the West, as if it's a new discovery. But people in our country have been following religions for centuries, Cardinal Ranjith said September 23rd, according to Ada Dharana, a Sri Lankan news outlet. The cardinal seems to have been denouncing the ideological colonization of which Pope Francis has frequently spoken. We know we have a short lifespan, the longest being around 100 years. So if we get used to this ideology of living a materialistic lifestyle, we'll end our lives in an unfortunate manner at the end, Cardinal Ranjith reflected. He said that there is no need to talk about protecting any of these human rights if we follow our religion properly, because they take us beyond any of these ideas. It is those who are not following any religion who talk about all these human rights issues. We shouldn't get entangled in this spell and must act intelligently. Well, I really agree with him there. If we would practice Christianity the way God would like us to, there would be no concern for any human rights whatsoever, because it's, the practice of Christianity incorporates, the human rights that God has given us, and we'd be a reflection of God's heart, and there wouldn't be any concern there. So I agree with what he said. Okay, Cardinal Kupich must resign. You can sign the petition at the last link in the description box. Now I'm going to talk here for, I just hope, 2 or 3 minutes here. Now here's an opportunity to, you think about what you can do. Of course, we all pray. But, people are really reluctant to, like, oh, well, I'm going to sign my name to something like this and it's going to come back, and who knows what they're going to do with my email address and all this kind of stuff. Well, I mean, if you're thinking in that sort of fearful way and putting that above what God calls us all to do, which is to speak the truth. And, that means always speak the truth. It's a, I know I'm not going to go so far as to say it's a sin of omission if you don't sign it, but certainly, you're disappointing God if you don't sign it. I mean, how many? I can't think of who said this exactly, but someone in the past, a cardinal or a bishop or a pope or whatever, said that you get basically what he was saying was you get overrun by modernism because those who are really with God and in His heart don't speak up. They just allow this, allow themselves to be overrun. And, here's an opportunity to do something. And I really hope that, you'll make God proud of you, and, you'll bring grace to yourself and to your loved ones. If you get in the habit of, really standing up, because in the times that we live, we all need to speak up. It reminds me of people that go into battle that are like badly outnumbered. And, I mean, they know that, they're probably going to be defeated, although that's not the case, because we know that Christ wins in the end, all right? But, if you go into battle thinking that you're going to get beat up and you might lose your life over it, well, then so be it, because, what you believe is more important than holding on to your life, or whatever repercussions may come about by signing petitions. I sign them all the time, and I'm pretty well blocked by Facebook and Twitter because I'm a conservative person, and I don't really use Facebook or Twitter for that reason. I stopped posting things pretty much. I mean, I post a little bit, but um, you know, I mean, with 5,000 Facebook friends, if I get 3 or 4 likes on a post, so it's obvious that, I'm being blocked, all right? So what? So, I'm there because I follow certain people that lead me to certain news stories. I mean, that's the purpose of me being there, all right? So, you know, um, I lost my train of thought a little bit, but it's really not that important here. I was only going to talk for like a couple of minutes here. But, I mean, God wants us to speak up. And like I said, I've been signing petitions for years. And, so what? You're considered a conservative if you're on the internet. It's an uphill fight. And, um, we're not gonna win this fight in the world. We're gonna win it on a supernatural level. All right. And the bottom line is always, you have to have the faith and the trust in God that He'll always use your goodwill and your hard work to save, family members that need saving. And of course, all this will probably come about at what's called the illumination of conscience, which I think probably a lot of you believe in. And if you don't understand what it is, or if it's a new thought to you, just use Google, and you can read about what exactly the illumination of conscience is. And that, really probably be happening in the next few years. All right, well, I'm gonna move on here, and we'll probably talk to you later in the day. So bye for now.